credit man.
Hey credit man. Hey credit man. Hey credit man. Hey credit man. Hey credit man. Credit man. Credit man. Hey credit man. Credit man.
What's up, guys? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all know who I am. I'm Dwayne the Credit Man. This is another episode of Credit Talk. Y'all know we are live every single Wednesday to discuss a different credit-related topic. This week we're going to be talking why you should buy the house before the car, right? And we're going to get into that because I see a lot of people that make this mistake. And I'm gonna pretty much explain to you guys what to do when you're ready to buy a house and how you should go about it, right? And why you should wait to buy the car. So for those that don't know, let me introduce myself. I'm Dwayne the Credit Man. I'm the owner of Reed Financial Solutions. We're currently, this is my studio in my building. So I'm the owner of Reed Financial Solutions, which is a credit repair company. I'm also part owner of SAM Properties, which is a real estate company. I'm also part owner of Reed Tax and Business Services, which is our tax company. And I'm also part owner of Reed Exotics, which is our rental car company. I'm also a best-selling author for my very first book, Understanding Credit by Dwayne the Credit Man. Shout out to everybody that did the special. We ran a special over Thanksgiving week, and all that stuff is going out now. So you guys that you sign up for the special, you actually got a copy of my book as well. So look out for that. That should be in the mail for you guys soon. I know we dropped a bunch of them in the mail yesterday. So shout out to you guys that supported the special. Y'all know I don't like doing specials. But it is what it is. I feel like our price is our price. But I do specials every now and then just to grab them people that really can't afford it. You know what I mean? To get it full price. So I throw a special out there just to get those people in so they can, take charge of their life. Since I've been in the office more and I have my hands on stuff, I've been seeing a lot of results. I've been seeing a lot of people buying houses, cars, which I'm going to post up. My boy bought a Lamborghini the other day. I'm going to post that up. I'll probably put that up maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I got some real estate stuff I'm going to put up first. But one of my boys bought a Lamborghini. I'm not going to tell y'all what type, but he used that good credit to go buy a Lamborghini. So, we're going to talk about that when I drop that video. I'm also going to continue the video what to do if you want to buy, one of those cars. So shout out, like I said, man, shout out to y'all that supported the special. You know what I'm saying? It was my daughter's birthday this past weekend. Shout out to my client that I ran into today, my man Xavier. Ran into him today at the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, it's my guy. And, I felt kind of bad because I didn't know his name. But once he introduced himself to me, I was like, okay, cool. I remember you. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, bro, if you want here. Let me see if I need this light. This light is so bright. That's the only thing. Let me see something. Let's see. Got mad different lights. Hold on. All right, that one could work. Let me tap that. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's kind of, I like that. Okay, cool. And if y'all see the shirts, this is one of my sample shirts. I got some merch coming out. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this shirt? I'm going to show it to you guys. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this shirt? Tell me what's wrong with this shirt, and then I'm going to tell you guys why this is only a sample. But I just wanted to wear it to show you guys that I do got some merch coming out. We're about to start a whole movement with the merch. Hopefully I could drop it by New Year's, you know what I'm saying, and have the merch out, and by summer, this thing should be, I want it to be all over the place. So I just been busy doing a whole bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, shout out to y'all, man. Landlord class is coming soon. I think I got one more meeting with my website guys to finalize some stuff, and then we're going to drop that. So y'all going to see the landlord class coming out for a discounted price to get started. That's going to be dropping soon. So I'm just super excited because I've been working on a lot of things, man. I got a lot of stuff coming for y'all, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I appreciate all y'all that support. Appreciate y'all, the people that, the well wishes, everybody. I appreciate all y'all, the guys that share my stuff. The ladies that share my stuff, I appreciate all y'all. But let's get into today's show. So today we're going to talk about why you should buy why you should buy the house before the car. So a lot of people don't realize this, right? When you go to buy a car is one of the easiest things you can buy. You can have a 520 credit score and drive out with a car, right? You might have to put some money down. You might get ripped off, which as far as interest rate and things like that. But you can buy a car. It's the easiest thing to buy, right? And let me tell you guys a story. So I had a client that was working with me for about 5 months. His goal was to buy a house. He had got married. He had 2 kids, and they wanted to get a house. He said, okay, cool. He wanted to fix his credit up so he can buy a crib. I said, all right, let's do it. So he came in. We fixed his credit up. He wanted to get his credit score up fast. He spent a couple $1,000s on some trade lines. Got him right. He was like 740. He goes. He finds a 2-family house that he liked. His wife loved it, and they decided that they were going to buy this house and they were going to move in and, start building their real estate empire. I'm like, all right, cool. And I was happy to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So then one day he comes to me, he pulls up, and he had a brand new Durango. And I was like, bro, that's yours? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, you closed on the house? He's like, nah, I didn't close yet. I said, how'd you buy a brand new Durango? He was like, nah, I had the credit, so I figured I'd go buy it. And I said, bro, but you didn't close on your house yet. He's like, yeah, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I close on my house next week. I said, okay, cool. Yo, next week when he's supposed to close, they called him and asked him about the inquiries on his credit report. He's like, he just bought a brand new car. They was like, yo, send us the paperwork for the car. He sent him the paperwork. They realized that he bought a $48,000 Dodge Durango, and they ended up canceling his deal. I think he was pre-approved for about $350. They cut him down to $190, and the house he was trying to buy was like $320 or something like that. So he wasn't able to go through it no more, right? And he didn't understand why. I had to break it down to him. I said, bro, when you go to buy a house, when you get that pre-approval letter, for those that don't know, when you go to buy a house, right, they're going to ask you for some information. They want to see how much money you make. They want to see your credit score. They want to see your credit report. And they're going to want to do what's called a debt-to-income ratio. Now, I want you guys to listen to this clearly. What a debt-to-income ratio is based on your credit report. How much money do you make compared to how much money is going out? And they do a percentage based off of that, right? So let's say, for instance, you make a certain amount of money per month, right? And you pay your rent. You pay your car note. You pay your student loan, which is, they kind of calculate that differently now. I think they only look at 1% of your student loan, right? Anything that reports to your credit, right? Let's say you got a personal loan, they look at that. You got credit cards, they look at that. They look at all these things on your credit report and they do a calculation. And based off your income, that's how they come up with how much house you can actually afford, right? So that's called a debt to income ratio. And based off that number alone, they tell you, hey, you can buy a house up to $350,000. Now, it's not saying that you can afford a $350,000 house. You can afford the monthly payment on a $350,000 house, right? Because I see it all the time where people say things like, "Oh, this is what I hate. This is when people they don't really understand how these things work, right? When they say things like, "Oh, well, why won't they want to approve me for a $300,000 mortgage, but they want to approve me for a $2,000 mortgage, but I pay $2,500 in rent." What you don't understand is they're not approving you for a $2,000 a month mortgage. They're approving you for the $200,000 house. They're saying that you can't afford to pay for that $200,000 house over the course of 30 years. That's why when I see stuff like that, I'm like, people just don't understand how that works, right? So they're thinking that, hey, based off how much you make and compared to how much you spend every single month, you should be able to afford up to a $300,000 house. So because he went and bought that car, what happened? Now you went from having no car note to a $700 a month car note. Because of that car note, now they have to recalculate that debt to income ratio, because before you had $700 that was going towards the house, right? And now you're taking $700 out of that calculation and you put it into the car. That's $700 a month, right? So that might drop your monthly payment now. Instead of you being able to afford $2,500 a month, now you can only afford $1,800 a month. And then when you do the calculation, that comes up to $190,000. So you end up knocking yourself out of being able to afford this house. So he ended up losing the deal because he went and bought a brand new Dodge Durango. But here's the catch, right? So you might say to yourself, damn, if he bought a $48,000 truck before he bought a house, he might not be able to buy that truck after the house. But here's the thing. When you own a home on your credit report, that you can still buy the exact same car, right? As long as you have good credit, when you walk into a dealership, he could have went there 2 weeks later and bought that exact same truck and got approved for it with the same terms, maybe even better terms, right? Because they don't look at it the same. Like a house, they're very thorough. They want to see everything. They want to see if you got judgments. They want to see if you owe child support. They want to see anything that could potentially come and put a lien on that house. Because if you put a lien on the house, that means the bank can't sell it, right? Because it has a lien. And if the bank does sell it, they have to pay off that lien first. So they want to make sure you don't have nothing that could put a lien on that credit report, right? So when you buy that car first, that's going to knock you out of buying a house. But guess what? If you buy that house and you wait, you can buy the same exact car afterwards. That's why I try to tell people, right? Right now, I have 2 mortgages on my credit report. And I think my monthly payments between both my mortgages is like almost $5,000. Let me see. No, it's like $5,500 for both mortgage payments. I never get denied for any car that I apply for. Any car that I try to buy, I bought a Lamborghini Urus, right? My note was like 2 something a month, right? And I got approved for it with 2 mortgages on my credit report. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to tell people. We got to make sure that we understand how these things work so we can make the best decisions. This is why I tell people all the time. If you want to buy a house, you need to put everything on hold. Your idea when you're buying a house should be to offload debt. If you got a car note, try to pay it down. If you got a personal loan, try to pay it off, because that little $120 a month, it might not seem like much to you, but that $120 a month could potentially be 10 to 15 to 20,000 more on a house that you could have bought, right? That could have been between $350 and $370, right? You could have bought a house for $359. But because your pre-approval is only for 350, the 350 now one that you really like, you can't afford that one. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got to understand how these things work. We got to educate ourselves. I'm seeing too much videos of people saying they bought a house and the mortgage went up $300 and they didn't know about taxes. We got to educate ourselves on how these things work, how taxes work, how home insurance work, how the mortgage works. What is a variable rate mortgage? What is a fixed rate mortgage? We need to understand all these things. That's why I always tell people to take a first-time home buyer's course when you're ready to buy a house. Don't just jump in and go to buy a house. Don't go ask your friend, because your friend might have had a different process. Your friend might have had good credit, so he don't got to go through what you got to go through. Let's say, for instance, your credit score is 640, right? You might got to pay more fees. You might got to go through more steps. You might got to send more paperwork, right? I remember when I bought my first, we bought our second house, and my credit score was about 6. I want to say when I bought my second house, my credit score was about 710 or something like that. So they was like, oh, if you get your score up to a 725, we can get you a better rate. So I was trying to get my credit score up. And literally all I had to do was get my credit score up was use my credit card, because I had paid all my credit cards off. So I paid all my credit cards up. My score jumps like a 730 or 735, something like that. So I ended up getting the lower rate. But because I understood how credit worked, right? Now, if I tell you, hey, look, if your broker come to you and say, hey, look, if you get your score to a 650, I can get you this rate. You got to understand how to get your score to that 650, or you know who to go to help you get that score to 650. You know what I'm saying? So you get that better rate, because literally that better rate could determine if you end up getting, if you end up paying an extra $50,000 after the 30 years, or extra $25,000 after the 30 years. People don't realize that small interest rate movement is so much money at the end of your mortgage. Most people don't realize when you finance a house, you pay for 2 houses when you're done financing that house. A lot of people don't know that. They think that they're just paying that's the mortgage and it's all going to the principal. No. Majority of your mortgage payment goes to interest, especially when you just bought the house. Because over time, what happens is this, right? Most of your money goes to interest, a little bit goes to principal. And as the loan ages, you pay less interest and you pay more principal towards the end, and then you pay off the house. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I've owned my house in East Orange since 2012. So I've been paying on that one for 12 years now. I've been paying on that house. And I think I financed 179. I'm down to like 86 now, thousand on that house. That house is valued at close to 700,000 right now. It's crazy. No, I'm not selling. And it's a 2-family. And I'm not selling, right? But the house went up crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I understand how that stuff works. That's why we talked about PMI. A lot of people don't know what PMI is. Now, if you do it first-time home buyers, right, because you're putting down such a low down payment, you gotta pay primary mortgage insurance, right? What is that? Primary mortgage insurance is pretty much saying, hey, because you have less than 20% equity in your home, you have to pay an extra $200 a month, or whatever the policy is these days. Might have went up. But I know when I was paying it, I had to pay an additional $200 on top of my mortgage. So let's say my mortgage was $1,900 a month. $200 of that was primary mortgage insurance, meaning that if I default on a loan, the insurance company will cover the debt for the bank. I will still owe the money, but the insurance will cover the debt, which is, I think, is mad, unfair, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But this is why I always tell people that you have to learn all these things before you go jump and buy a house. Because a lot of people buy these houses, end up looking crazy because, hey, you bought a house, you spent all this money, and you didn't understand little things about the house. You know what I'm saying? How to maintain a house. That's why I'm doing the landlord class, so people can understand how to maintain a house, how to run your house like a business. If you buy a 2-family, that's a business. You have to run it like a business. A certain way you got to communicate. A certain way you got to store documentation. Certain ways you got to store their security deposit. You know what I'm saying? You got to have interest building on their security deposit. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain ways you got to do all this stuff. So that's why I'm trying to teach people all this stuff, because there's nobody out here teaching it. So that's why we're jumping into that game and teaching people exactly how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it all starts with your credit report. That's why I always tell you, if you want to buy a home, if you know that in sometime in the future or the near future you want to be a homeowner, don't wait until you see a house that you like to fix your credit. The first thing you should be doing is fixing your credit. Because literally, if you do not have the credit score, you qualify for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you, oh, fix your credit and come back. That's what they're going to tell you. So you got to make sure that you fix your credit. That's number one. So if you guys need help with your credit, man, hit us up. Reed Financial Solutions. That's what we do. We get your credit on track so that way you can buy a home. And then again, when you're ready to buy a home, you want to offload debt. You want to pay off those loans that you took out, right? You want to try to pay down your car. I believe the number for your car is $6,900. If you get your loan amount under $6,900, they won't calculate your monthly payment into your debt to income ratio. Meaning, if you're paying a $450 car note, but you owe less than $6,900 on your car note, and that number could have changed. I could be wrong. I haven't checked it in a while. But when I bought my last home, they said if your car note was under $6,900, they don't put it in your calculation. So let's say, for instance, your car note is $500 a month. You don't got to worry about that $500 a month being included in your debt to income ratio. So what does that mean? That means you get more house for your money. You know what I'm saying? You get more house now because that $500 is not included. So you end up paying that car off. You got a brand new house. You ready to go buy a new car? You go buy your new car. That house is not going to stop you from buying a new car. If anything, it's going to help you to buy a new car. You know what I'm saying? And if you go get that Tesla, you got some place to charge it. You don't got to worry about going to public chargers. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always tell people. If you don't own a home, you shouldn't own a Tesla. That's another thing I like to tell people. If you don't own a home, I wouldn't buy a Tesla. And you see a lot of people complaining about charging, especially all these other cars. Tesla, you don't really hear people complain about charging too much because they have their own independent charging system. But if you have a home, you can put the charger in there and boom, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So many things that come with being a homeowner. You know what I mean? So that's why I always tell people, man, buy the house before you get the car. Don't go buy the Benz. Don't go buy the Bentley. Don't go buy the Lamborghini. Wait until after you get that house. Because my wife always told me, right? She's like, you're not buying no luxury car until we have a garage to put it in. So I waited until I became a homeowner before I started buying any type of luxury cars. And now that I have the cars that I have, but I got a couple different houses. I got mad garages I can put them in now. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you guys got any questions, go ahead and ask me. You know what I'm saying? While, and I'll get to you guys in a second. Facebook, what's up? I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. If y'all got any questions, go ahead and ask. Let me see if there's any questions on Facebook. Maria, what up? What up? What up? Sharia, appreciate you. Sandy, what up? Appreciate all y'all for tuning in on the Facebook side. But like I said, buy the house before the car. Don't buy the car, then you can't get the house. Buy the house before the car. You know what I'm saying? And I would say, wait. If your car is on its way out, spend some money on the car. You know what I'm saying? You got a car that's paid off and you want to buy a new one. Spend some money on the car to keep it going. Then buy the crib and then go get the house. Because again, you don't want, because of that nice car you got outside, you got to end up living in a worse neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want that. Keep that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm trying to tell people. Payment or amount of balance you left on the car, they won't count towards your. Oh, it's the balance left on the car. So if you owe less than $6,900 on your car, that's the number that I'm gonna look that up right now. When I bought my last house, the number was $6,900. As long as you had less than $6,900. Unless you have less than $6,900 on your balance of your car loan, they don't add that. They don't add the payment to your debt to income ratio. Let me look that up. Let me see. Let me try ChatGPT for this. What balance do you need on your car loan to not include it in your debt to income ratio when buying a home? Oh, so it's 10 months of your car note. Okay, cool. So it's 10 months of 10 months of payments. So if you have less than 10 months or whatever that balance is, for instance, if your car payment is $400 a month, the remaining balance of your loan is less than $4,000. It may not be included in your DTI calculation. So you got to have less than 10 months of payments on your calculation before they so they won't include it. So that's what it is. Oh, so I guess mine was $6,900. So how much was my car note? Hold on a second. See, we learn something new every day, man. $6,900 divided by 10. Damn, my car note was $690 this time. Shit, I've been balling. I appreciate. What's up, bro? Appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, but it's 10 payments. So whatever that total 10 payments is, they won't include it in your debt to income ratio. So we learn something new every day, man. But like I said, we got the merch coming out soon. This is just a sample shirt. As you can see, it's not centered. So it needs to be moved over and then moved down. We're going to edit this a little bit. And for those that was wondering what's wrong with this shirt, it says Refinancial Services at the bottom. The name of my company is Refinancial Solutions. But we're going to have the merch out, hopefully by January 1st, we're going to have the merch out. And we're going to be able to, we're going to have it on the website where you guys can pick up t-shirts, hoodies, hats. I want to have socks, all types of stuff for you guys. You know what I'm saying? With different credit-related terms on the front. And don't nobody try to steal my stuff, man. I know you other credit guys always be trying to steal my stuff that I be doing. I be having topics and stuff like that. All of a sudden, y'all want to speak on it. If y'all going to steal my ideas, at least give me the credit. So an authorized user won't hurt you getting the house. Okay, so that's, D-Money Barry, that's a great question. So here's the thing with authorized user trade lines, right? When you're buying a home, I tell people all the time, they're like, I'm going to put some trade lines on my account and I'm going to go buy a home. When you enter underwriting, meaning the company, the bank, when they're doing the underwriting on the loan, when they're going to give you the loan, they're going to ask you, they're going to say, hey, these authorized user accounts. We're going to need proof that you know this person that owns this authorized user account. That's why I tell people, if you're going to do trade lines during a home buying process, you have to buy it from the person that actually has the trade lines. So that way they can actually give you something and say, hey, yes, I know this person. This is my brother, this is my cousin, whatever. That's why when my clients are buying homes, I have personal authorized user trade lines that I give them. So that way when the bank comes and says, hey, can we verify that you know this, you didn't buy these trade lines? I can send them in and say, hey, I'm the owner of the trade line. That's my cousin, blah, blah, blah. I add them to the card. They have a card, whatever. You can verify it. But if you buy a trade line from a trade line place and you go to buy a home and you can't verify it, they're going to take that trade line out the calculation, right? And that might drop your credit score. So if your credit score is being held up by trade lines, chances are you're going to drop your credit. They're going to end up dropping your credit score when they take those trade lines out of your calculation. So you can't just buy random trade lines from a company when you're trying to buy a house. There's a certain way you got to do things. That's why I always tell people when they be like, oh, trade lines are scam, trade lines don't work. No, you have to understand the rules, the rules and how trade lines actually work. Because a lot of people don't understand how trade lines work. They think I just buy a trade line, put it on my credit report, and I'm going to have a good credit. That's not how that works. Oh, I thought I heard somebody at the door. My bad. That was the heat shutting off. But that was a great question, though. So that's why you got to get the right trade lines for your that's specific to your credit report. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got any more questions, go ahead and ask, man. If not, I'm going to get up out of here in a couple minutes. Almost 9 p.m. Even though I started late, I try to keep these shows short. So 25 minutes and under, you know what I'm saying? That's why I come up with these little shorter topics. Because I used to be on here for hours and change. Y'all know I used to be on here running my mouth. I ain't trying to do that no more. Facebook, what's up? We got any questions on the Facebook side? Can't wait to get into the 700, 800 club. We getting there. Maria, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your support, too. Thank you. Y'all don't understand. I love my clients that get in there. And I always tell people this, right? If you're going to come and fix your credit with us, understand, you need to give me at least 6 months. And here's another thing. You need to pay for your service. I have too many people that don't want to pay for their service, but they want results. I literally had somebody come on my phone and call me a scammer because they didn't want to pay for their service, but they wanted to see results. It doesn't work like that. You pay for your service, you get results. That's how it goes. If you don't pay for your service, you don't get no results. Like, you'd be surprised. This guy came into my thing telling he want a refund, and I said, bro, you didn't even pay for your whole service. Like, you paid partial payment, it never came back. Why do you think you're going to be in a 700? And then here's the funny thing, right? Let's say, for instance, somebody came and paid for partial service, and then you end up fixing their credit, and they're in the 700 club. You think they coming back to give you your money? They ain't never going to pay you. They already got 700. That's why I don't work for free. But you guys would be surprised what I go through, man. Like, the stuff that I go through, people calling me with tough talk and all this stuff. Like, I'm supposed to back down because whatever. But that's why I always tell people, man, I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that talking stuff, man. Like, we gotta, like, you have to pay for your credit repair. That's how that works. When y'all go to Gucci and Louis Vuitton, y'all don't say, let me give you half the money, let me get these. Y'all go there and y'all pay happily whatever the price is. I need that same energy when y'all come to me. I got too many people coming to my office with Amari hoodies on. I know how much those hoodies cost. You know what I'm saying? And then you haggling me about the price. No, we're not doing none of that. We're not doing that. You don't pay, you don't get the service. That's it. You can't go nowhere else and do that. But I guess because you think because I'm black, you can come in and you can, take advantage of me and, bully me or something, I guess. I don't know. Don't let the light skin fool you, man. Please don't let the light skin fool you. You know what I'm saying? But look, like I said, man, but I appreciate everybody that do, support me. I got people that just send me. I had a guy that just sent me money the other day. Didn't say nothing. Sent me like $600 something. I was like, yo, who is this? He said, oh, my bad. This such and such. I just wanted to send you this money real quick. I'm like, all right, cool. Thanks for letting me know who you was. He's like, nah, I trust you, man. You good. Just sent me the money. And this guy on my line calling me a scammer because he ain't want to pay for his service and he ain't see the results. You got to pay if you want to see results. And then my clients know I'm not even money hungry like that. I got clients that have been working with me for years that don't pay me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I might be like, all right, pay me $99, you know what I'm saying? Or pay me $50 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got clients that they've been with me for so long, I don't even stress them for money. They're like, do I owe you anything? I'm like, nah, you good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even money hungry like that. So when people call me on some money hungry stuff, I be looking at them like they crazy. Like, do you know who you talking to? You know what I mean? I can't wait to elevate. Yo, the money bags, we getting there, baby. We working. You know what I mean? Oh man, but like I said, man, appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Y'all know, we here every single week discuss a different topic. Next week I want to discuss. I had another topic for next week already, but I can't remember right now. Pay and have patience is gonna work. Exactly, you gotta pay and have patience, man. And like I got clients like my man right here, right, where he was in my DM. He was asking me questions. I think at one time he was like, "Yo, sorry for no." I'm like annoying me. This is what I like. I like when my clients take attack. I like when they jump in and they ask questions. They want to know how things work. They want to know where to go for this. Are they doing this right? This is what I want. That's what I love because I know you're passionate about the process. I got people that give me money and then all of a sudden because they paid one time, they be like, "Oh yeah, I paid you. 3 months ago I didn't say anything." Yeah, you stop paying. Like it's an ongoing process. Like once you stop paying, we stop working. Just like your cell phone bill. If you stop paying your cell phone, what happens? You go to make a call and you hear that operator pick up. Hey, you got to pay the bill. That's how that works. I don't know why y'all think it's any different with me. And I just want to let you guys know, especially for my guys out there. I respect all y'all, but the tough guy stuff don't work with me. It doesn't work with me. You can call me with the bass in your voice and all of that. All I'm gonna tell you is, hey, come into the office and have a conversation. The tough guy stuff does not work with me. Last time I was soft was in the 4th grade when I had somebody take my quarter. That was the last time I was soft. I haven't been soft since. You know what I'm saying? Browse and Beauty, what up? Appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, but you got to pay and have patience, man. It's going to work. But I always say dedicate at least 6 months to the process. If you cannot dedicate 6 months to the process, don't start the process. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just don't start the process because you're going to end up being mad. You pay for a month or two. Then you're going to turn around and say, oh, he didn't do nothing for me. But you're not going to tell people that you quit on the process. And then when I send you homework, do your homework. You got to handle what you got to handle. I literally had somebody to hit me up yesterday. And I'm just venting. Like I said, I've been having more of a hands-on because I kind of stopped doing a lot of other things I was doing. And I came back and I've been in the office more, right? And I literally had somebody that hit me up and said, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I haven't seen my credit score hasn't changed. I said, all right, let me check it out. And I go in the credit report. I say, hey, did you take care of this? No. Did you take care of this? No. Did you take care of this? No. I'm like, well, your score is not going to go up until you got to take care of those things. This is what we did so far, but this is not going to have no type of impact unless you take care of this. So it's like I'm constantly trying to, argue with people about, do your homework, do what you got to do on your side, and then come back and hold me accountable. I literally just got a DM from somebody that says, hey, I did everything you told me to do. What's going on? That's what I want because I'm be like, okay, you did everything you got to do. Let me go check and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's the pressure I like. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, look out for the merch. This is one of the sample shirts. This ain't the finished product. It's one of the sample shirts. So we're going to have some, some credit related topics on there. You know what I'm saying? This is our Say No to Co-Signing shirt. As you can see, it's not centered. It needs to be moved over and moved down a little bit. My company name is Reed Financial Solutions, not Reed Financial Services. And we're going to kind of edit this, make this look a little better. You know what I'm saying? But it's just some stuff that we're working on, man. Why is it that for credit card balances, you have to leave a balance when you pay them off every month? That is for the FICO model, right? So on FICO, if your credit card has a 0 balance, they take that credit card out of the calculation. I know it's weird. It makes no sense, but they take it out of the calculation because they want to see usage on your credit cards. That's only FICO. When you go on Credit Karma, you're not going to see that. If you go anywhere else, you're not going to see that. It's only on FICO do you see that. So that's why I tell people, it's like I said early in the show when I was trying to buy the house and they told me to get my credit score up to 725, I think it was. And I knew I had 0 balances on all my credit cards. I just went and paid off. I spent $5. I went to the store. I bought a shirt. I bought some jeans. I bought some shoes here. I went and bought a whole outfit. I bought like a pocket square, mad stuff with my credit cards. And then in 2 weeks, they all updated. One's $5, $15, $40, $100, $20. And my score shot up like additional 20 points. So I think I shot to like a 735, close to 740. It's like 737 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But on FICO model, that's how it is. They want to see that, whatchamacallit. They want to see those credit cards being used. Yeah, that happened to me in June. I remember I was like, yo, my score dropped because I paid them to 0. Yep, it definitely drops. And here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize credit works backwards to how we think credit should pay. For instance, right? We think that if we pay off a loan, our score should go up. When your score actually drops because you paid off a loan, that's one less loan in your calculation. It's based off your credit, right? We think that when we pay our credit cards at 0, it should raise our credit score. That could potentially drop your credit score because you have no usage on your credit cards. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. Just like when you run your credit to get something. Let's say you want to get a credit card. You run your credit. You lose points. You would think by using your credit cards, not using credit cards, but trying to get new credit, your score should go up. You actually lose points for that. So you got to understand that credit typically works backwards from how our minds work. You know what I'm saying? I just leased a $100,000 vehicle I worked with you 9-10 years ago and been up ever since. Call that man. He know what's he. Listen. Flattery gets you everywhere with me, okay? Hold on a second. Let me screenshot that. You done got comment of the week. That's going up on the billboards. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't have to be a large balance. Can be $5. Yeah. It could be $3. You know what I mean? It could be a small. It don't got to be a large balance. I always tell people, like, you don't got to go max your credit card out now. Literally put $5 to $10 on there. Go buy yourself a sandwich. Go buy yourself breakfast. Swipe that. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people. And then, I have my people on here that I was going to talk about. Oh, that's what I'm going to talk about next week. Why credit card companies lower your credit card limits. That's going to be the next week topic. Because I had somebody hit me up about that. And that's going to be another interesting subject when I touch on that. Because y'all going to be like, wow, they'll lower your credit card limit for that? Yep. So we're going to talk about that next week. You know what I'm saying? What is this? Oh. Listen, and y'all see that Lamborghini I had up in the preview for this show? When I advertise this show? That's my next, that's going to be my next Lamborghini. I ain't playing with y'all with that one. I'm going to own one of those. Those things are sick. They're like hybrid. And when they drive past, it sounds like a movie. It's crazy. That car is crazy. I was at the dealership one day picking up my Lambo, and they had 3 of them outside, and they was parking them. And I stood there and recorded each one of them go inside the lot. And I was like, yeah, that's the next car right there. Oh, we doing that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Browse. What was it? Oh, Browse and Beauty. I don't know how I forgot your name. But I appreciate that. But if y'all got any more questions, go ahead and ask. If not, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all know I got some, I got to clean up. I got some stuff I got to do. Even though it's nice and clean in here now already. You know what I mean? But like I said, y'all know who I am, man. I'm Dwayne the Credit Man. We're here every single week. So next week, we're going to be discussing why they can lower your credit card limits. Or why they don't raise your credit card limits. We're going to touch on both sides of that, right? Because I get people all the time that hit me up like, oh, they won't raise my credit card limit. So we're going to touch on why they won't raise your credit card limit and why they can lower your credit card limit. That's going to be next week's topic. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I've been coming up with some real good topics lately. I used to pay my man to come up with topics for me, but now I've just been doing it myself. And I've just been like, what happens is I pretty much pay attention to my clients. And whatever they ask me a question about, boom, that's the topic. Like this topic right here, the reason why I came up with this topic, somebody asked me, like, hey, I want to buy, a couple days ago, somebody was like, hey, I want to buy a house, but I need a new car. But yo, hold off on that car. Buy the house first. I would rather you lock in. If you got to get, put a couple dollars into the car to keep it going, do that to keep it going, and then get that house. Then you can focus on getting a new car because this is how that works. And I kind of broke them down to them. And they're like, all right, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to end up getting less house because, you went in, bought a brand new car. Yeah, you look good on the street, but you pull up to a crib in a neighborhood that you didn't want to live in a school district you might not have wanted because, you didn't want your kids in that school district, but you got that new Benz, though. You know what I'm saying? You look good when you pull out the driveway. You know what I mean? But you backing out in the wrong hood. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, y'all know who I am. I'm Dwayne the Credit Man. This is another episode of Credit Talk. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week, Wednesday. And I'm dropping a credit crash course date tomorrow. I'm going to put that pressure on myself. I'm going to drop the credit crash course date tomorrow. We're going to have it on live where you guys can tune in. And we could, I'm going to do the credit crash course. It's going to be for a small fee, like $25 or something. Well, I'm going to do a couple courses. I'm going to start with understanding credit. I'm going to start with, we're going to do the understanding credit. We're going to do credit cards. We're going to do trade lines. We're going to do a bunch of different classes. So I can show you, I'm going to break down how these things work. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all know who I am. I'm Dwayne the Credit Man. I'll see you guys next week for a different credit-related topic.